Welcome back to the Living Challengers podcast. Oh, I have so much to share. I just turned 45. Woohoo! Cut my hair. And I took a solo mushroom trip yesterday that I want to share about. Okay, so here's what I think I'm going to talk about in 20 minutes or less to give you an idea of what you're listening to here, because that always helps. This is what I wrote down. Mushrooms, menopause, crone, relationship transition, and purpose. Are you ready for it? Oh, I think I am. I'm going to start with purpose, and I'll probably finish with purpose because that is why I record these things. It feels somewhat self-indulgent sometimes to record my life and to be thinking that it's worth recording. But you know what? Even just for me, it's worth it. This is processing. I go back and I listen to them sometimes months or years later. And I'm like, thank God I recorded that. I know exactly where I was emotionally. I know what I was going through. So for all of you, if you don't have a way of record keeping for your life, journaling, recording, audio, video, whatever it is, highly recommend it. And then share it. And that's why I share it, because I had this realization a couple of years ago that podcasting is a way for people to share, and actually our whole new generation of teachers and the way that we relate to learning is changing because of the tools that we have. And I truly believe that from my deepest truth, when I am sharing something I'm going through from the most authentic place I can get to, and share it with you, you're either going to listen to it because it resonates with you and it becomes your medicine, and there's something resonant in our shared learning journeys, or you're going to be like, it's not for me. And then you're just not going to listen, and you're going to follow someone else and listen to someone else that's going through something more similar, because our bodies know when we're listening to someone who we resonate with. We literally say resonate. And I think that's because we vibrate. And there's a truth. There is information in our bodies, and our bodies know, and they tell us, like, keep listening to this. This is something resonant. Okay, so that's why I share. And I also share because I'm so drawn and so connected to my purpose of supporting you. You, if you're listening, you, specifically you, yes, you, to live the life that you're meant to live, to connect to yourself and be on this self-discovery journey, and to let whatever it is that you're learning as you share it and speak it to the world and find your truth and your personal power, that you then go to resonate with other people who are on a similar learning journey. And I think our whole world can transform like this when we take out the hierarchical learning model. Like, the guru model, done, dead. What is happening is the network model. And the network model allows us to learn faster, to share information faster. It's the way our neurons connect. We're literally wired like that. We're not wired with one main neuron that's like, okay, I have this information, and from this one point, I'm going to share everything else. It doesn't work. So welcome, my friends, to network learning. Your body already knows it. It's how we learn naturally. Okay, so I digress. I really am feeling so connected to this purpose because of all the wonderful things it does. No, because I have no other intimate relationships calling my attention. And for the last couple of years, my journey into polyamory and my journey of relating, I don't regret anything. I regret nothing. I have learned so much, and it was a lot of energy. It really was, maintaining 2 intimate relationships and being a mom and coaching people. So now I've cleared a whole bunch of space, and literally now in this moment, my kids are with Marty in California. And so I have 10 days to myself. I'm almost right in the middle of those 10 days. So I'm feeling super calm, super connected to myself, also because of the mushroom journey, which I'll get into. And I just so appreciate this time and ability to be able to reflect on my life here in this way. Okay, mushroom journey, menopause, crone, and relationship transition. Here we go. So I took a solo journey yesterday, and I try to do those quarterly, I don't know, at least 2 times a year. And I've gained more confidence to hold space for myself by myself. I used to only do it around the company of others. And I have a good relationship with psychedelics, with magic mushrooms. Ultimately, I have a good relationship with myself. And that's how I know I can create a safe container to take it by myself, which a lot of people don't do. That's also why I hold the container for people to explore and create a relationship with, specifically with mushrooms, as a teacher. Really, that's what it is to me. It's a way to access, who knows if it's subconscious, access the consciousness field. I don't know what it is. All I know is I feel it in my body. It is literally altering my state of consciousness, because most of the time I'm living up here, very linear. I can get moments where I feel much more present, but most of the time, like, life is lived up here. So what taking mushrooms does for me in my body is it brings me into my body, and I'm able to tap into a wisdom here and also let the emotions flow. Like yesterday, you guys, I cried. I cried a lot. I set up the yoga mat right outside of my house here, like not on this one, but the patio next to it. And the forest kept me company, and I let some tears go. It was a whole bunch of stuck emotions. I'm still processing, processing so much. I would say transitioning the relationship with Marty, yes, for sure. Like, I'm still healing a wound that feels like my wound connected to masculine energy. And that's okay. I'm healing. And also what it showed me yesterday is it's healed relationally. And that made me cry, because I was like, I'm not ready to get back into another relationship. It's like, pause. I know that healing is available, and like incredible healing will be available if and when I let myself connect to another man. It's not right now. And that's okay. And I'm really good with it. Really good with it. I'm enjoying this quiet solitude. Okay. So what else did it show me? It showed me this. It showed me another layer of authenticity. That's like, Megan, speak, like, share your truth. Trust that what you're sharing and what you can connect to is going to be of value to others, and know that it's of value just doing it. So speak truth, share your truth, dig deep. So that's why I'm recording this, as kind of keeping a promise to myself of what I saw yesterday. I also was joined by an octopus, which was really, really interesting. God, for a good, who knows what time, half an hour, I don't know. I just felt this moving energy. I don't know. It's still kind of with me. And there's always an integration period after altering your consciousness. And so I'm still processing the octopus energy. I found a book I'm going to read. I don't know. They've been calling me for a little while, ever since I started scuba diving, and wanting to see an octopus in person. And now I know there's something about that energy that it's here. It's calling me. So I'm sitting with that. And also, I'm going to say it told me, the mushrooms, my higher self, whatever, said, Megan, it's time to grow out your whites. So I'm doing this as a record. If you're just listening, I'm like showing all my white roots in the camera. I've been covering these for a while, and I always said maybe when I turn 50, I will, I'll stop coloring my hair, but it's now. It's now. Even while I was getting the information, I was like, seriously? Oh, do I have to do it? But I know why, because it's a part of my full self-acceptance. Like, stop covering this up. This is what is. My white hairs are there. And it's a full loving of myself in all the ways that I am. And I have so much love for my body. It's like, why don't I extend that love out to my hair? And honestly, it gets so much sun and chlorine and seawater that I don't need to be dyeing it anymore. It's kind of ruining it. I'm like, I want long salt and pepper locks. Like, that's what I want. So maybe that's the image that I project of me at 50, is this gray, salt and pepper, beautiful, long, curly hair. So that brings me to menopause and crone. And I'm going to talk about these together. I am perimenopausal right now. So what does that mean? By the way, we need to talk about this way more, not just women, like our whole society. God, every woman that hits a certain age will reach and go through menopause. And I just discovered Jane Hardwick Collins, who talks a lot more about menopause. I am definitely not the expert. I am just learning as I am connecting to my body. And I'm premenopausal, which means, okay, for those of you that don't know, hopefully I haven't lost people here. Menopause is after you have completed 1 year without your period. Premenopause can last 7 years-ish. Less, more, depending on the individual. That's where you can start getting heat flushes, hot flushes, brain fog, which I'm definitely getting a little bit. I've gone 2 or 3 months without getting a period, and then I'll get it again. And so my cycle's all over the place. And this is just after I thought I was getting the hang of my actual cycle and learning how to work with the 4 different phases and archetypes. So on the big scale of time frames, I have gone through my maiden. That's long gone. I'm in my mother phase still, like parenting. I am parenting 2 young children. And I also feel like I'm in that fall or that enchantress phase, which is erratic, but it is also bringing forward big truths, like big truths. And I am no longer willing to stifle myself or my energy or my voice or my power. And I feel like that's so connected to me wanting to separate from Marty specifically. And not, some of it is, yes, relational incompatibility in certain areas. Some of it maybe just outgrowing the relationship, whatever it is. I cannot take out the variable of my hormones from that equation. I do think some of it is just hormonal, where it's like, I am no longer willing to self-sacrifice at that level. And not that all that self-sacrifice was bad, because it isn't, self-sacrificing is a part of motherhood too. But I'm really sitting with this part of my life that's kind of like, oh, not going to do it anymore. Just not going to do it. I am here. I have things to say. I'm not going to stifle myself anymore. I have so much love and just like and anger too to get out. And that anger is connected to ways I have given up on myself, ways that I have betrayed myself that I'm just no longer willing to do. So yes, it has required a physical separation, and going through now a divorce process. But I think it's actually me coming back to me. And I do think statistics-wise, more people get divorced in this phase of life than I think any other phase. And again, it could be hormonal. It could just be all ladies out there being like, no more, not doing that anymore. Thank you very much. Did it, have the kids or had the long relationship. It's me time. So that's what I'm feeling right now. And I say all of that with the caveat of, yes, of course, I'm open to intimate relationships in my life. I want that at some point. I'm very actively saying, universe, not just yet. I'm just getting my purpose foundation under me right now. But yes, I do want those types of relationships, and I want them from a mature place, from a different place. I'm not the same person I was when I met Marty. I was 20 when I met him. And I think I was 37. Is that right? When I met Kyle, I'm not even the same person, like legitimately not the same person. And so I'm taking this time to discover the 45-year-old Megan. It's like, ooh, who are you? Like, what do you like? Oh, you like quiet and, to dig deep into things and relating deeply and speaking your truth and all of these things that I'm just not willing to give up for anything or anyone. So that feels amazing. And it also feels fucking scary and terrifying. Like, what is this? Who are you? What's going on here? So yesterday on my magical mushroom journey, one of the things that I said out loud, I'm by myself, but I said it out loud. I said, I'm birthing my crone. I'm birthing my crone. And my crone energy, if you don't know the cycles of the archetypes, back again to the 4 different stages or of the menstrual cycle. You have the maiden, the mother, the enchantress, and the crone. And oh, my dear friends, especially women, we are missing crone energy, powerful crone energy in our world right now. And I feel like women are answering the call in droves right now to say like, ooh, I'm here. I'm here. I have something to share. There's wisdom and intuition and something that lives inside of me that I know. And I know that I know it now that I went through my maiden phase and my mothering phase and my enchantress phase that kicked up a lot of stuff and shed. And now what's left is the crone. And I'm not fully in my crone now, but I feel her calling me. I legitimately feel her calling me. This powerful energy, this, if time truly doesn't exist, if there is, space-time is kind of connected, it is connected. Our brains perceive of things as very linearly. But if we take out that linear experience, you could say you can tap into the past and the future at any time because it is just energy, and energy is always existing. So I feel like I can presence my crone energy, and I call on her for wisdom. I call on her to, not to tell me how things are going to be, but to be an energy that I can ground this current version of myself in as I am birthing her, as I am allowing her to come through me. And that's where I felt like yesterday was a little bit inklings of an ego death, the ego death that I have been transforming through, the ego death that I had to realize, letting go of the relationships with Marty and Kyle, and even letting go of the label of polyamory, letting go of Amory Podcast to become the loving challenger, and really just being here to see what arises. And letting go of that ego part of me that's like, oh, I have to drive the ship. This is much more about I am surrendering. I am here to surrender to whatever is arising. I trust that everything is arising and unfolding in perfect timing, because there's no other way it could be. It's just literally how it unfolds. The ego likes to think it can drive things and force things and push things and make things happen. And yes, like there is, and I relate to that like masculine energy. And I have been in my masculine energy for a large part of my life, driving and pushing, and even recording podcasts. Even this feels different than it did, before, where it's like I have this drive energy, like I have to get whatever's in here through to you. That's fine. You're going to get what you get, but it's much more about allowing. Like, can I allow myself to be present here right now with myself? Can I allow and trust the words that are coming up and through my mouth out of, I don't know where? Can I allow that? And that is not a passive process. That is a fully active process of allowing. And it's been really scary. And I think as I picture relationships, I am just getting the hang of relating to myself as a loving partner. Been on this journey and leading the self-love journey for a couple of years now, 4 or 5 years now, and feel like just getting the hang of like, oh, this is what it feels like to be a good partner to myself. This is what it feels like to listen, but not even just to listen. First, here's what it feels like to feel this. And then I can listen and ask what it is that I need in this moment. And yeah, it's a whole different way of living. Okay. So crone is emerging. I'm going to let the hair grow out. Oh, I've now said it out loud. It's real. I'm sure I'm going to go through some grieving process of what there is to lose, but also so much to gain. Yeah. And I'm so grateful for the medicine that is, fungus, the fantastic fungi. There is no reason to be afraid of it. If we are afraid of it, it is because we are afraid of ourselves, and we are afraid of what we're going to find or see or experience here. And yeah, that's why I hold space for people. That's why I'm so grateful to be able to do it. And sitting here knowing I trust myself enough to hold myself. That's how I know I can hold space for others. Yeah, it's all connected. All of our journeys are so connected. We are interdependent. As you are listening to this, there's some energy that is intertwined. Your life is intertwined with mine. Yeah, it's so crazy. On that note, I am so grateful for all the lives that I am intertwined with. I'm so grateful I get to coach the people that I do, that I get to be a loving witness for people going through relationships, transitions, finding themselves, finding their inner deep calling and their purpose, and putting that out into the world. And if that's calling you, please reach out and schedule a free 20-minute call with me. Let's be honest, they end up turning into half an hour or more, and I will be with you and witness you. And if there's a way, if there's a way for both of us to support each other, let's do it. I'm feeling called to start another Loving Challengers community call. I started one cohort, probably back in April or May, and I've closed that cohort, filled it up, and I'm willing, open, able to start another cohort. So what does that mean? If any of this resonated with you, any of it, if you are going through relationship transitions, if you want to know yourself deeper, if you're on a journey of self-love, if you are also perimenopausal, or if you are exploring relationship structures, if you are by yourself, loving your life by yourself, all of it. And if you crave community, that is why I've opened these circles. So it is 10 or fewer people. We show up every week to hold space with each other, to share, to lovingly witness each other. And I'm also organizing retreats for each cohort. So I've got this cohort coming here in March, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited for you ladies to come here and to hold space with you on this beautiful land, and to walk on the beach, and to hold space, if you want it, with mushrooms also. I think I waited so long to even talk about psychedelics. So it's been so nice to share a personal experience here, and to open up the space for that to be safe for others. And by the way, caveat, I relate to anything that is consciousness altering, including alcohol, very consciously. Like I drink maybe monthly, usually just quarterly, max monthly. And I know I'm altering my consciousness when I take it. I take it purposefully. I take it in a container. I know why I'm taking it. So this is an open invite to say, it is the relationship that we have to these substances that alter our consciousness that is really important. So as I share about my relationship with mushrooms, I invite you to, if you are taking anything to alter your consciousness, how do you relate to that? Why are you taking it? I think we are so overly dependent on alcohol, and it's not to shame anyone. You know, we've definitely, it's a medication. It's a medication that helps us check out from our body. So if I happen to be speaking to you who is using alcohol to dull this down, to not feel it, I invite you to do the opposite. I invite you to fully, wholeheartedly lean into what is here, because your body is trying to relate information to you. And sometimes the information that it's trying to relate is like, hey, need a change. Not working for me. And I know that's scary. And that's why you work with someone that can hold space and witness you and support you in the changes. I love this life. I love you. If you don't hear it enough, you're loved. Put your hands over your heart. Say it with me. I love you. I love you. I love you so much. You are worthy. You are worthy. Doesn't that feel good? Fantastic. Okay. Love you all.